Good morning, dear students. Welcome back. This video is for the students of class 7, subject mathematics. And from this lecture, we are going to start with our new chapter, that is congruence of triangles. So this is lecture number 1 of chapter number 7, congruence of triangles. And in this lecture, we are going to discuss, first, we will learn the meaning of congruence. Then congruence among lines, segments and angles, and after that we will start with congruence of triangles. Okay, so let us start with the meaning of congruence. So students, in our daily life we see many objects around us which have same shape and size. Okay, objects that have exactly same shape and same size, they are congruent to each other. Again I am repeating, the objects that have exactly same shape and same size are congruent to each other. Okay, so it means the objects having same shape and same size, then we can say the objects are congruent. Congruent means the idea, the geometrical idea that tells the objects having same shape and same size. Okay, so whenever you see two or more objects having same shape and same size, then you can say that those figures are congruent. Okay, those objects are congruent. For example, these are the two copies of a photograph having same shape and same size. So we can say they are congruent. Okay. Now in second example, we have two coins of rupees 5 and they are having same shape. They both are circular and they are of same size. So we can say that these two figures are congruent. Same, two stems of same denomination. Same denomination, they are congruent. Okay, same amount. Denomination means amount, they are having same amount. Okay, suppose this is 100 rupees stamp and this is also 100 rupees stamp, so we can say these two figures are congruent. Okay, now one more example, two toys, they are having same shape and same size, so they are also congruent. So we can say that two objects are called congruent if and only if they have same shape and same size. The relation of two objects being congruent, it means the relation, or you can say the idea of these two objects being congruent is known as congruence. Okay, so students, if two objects, two figures which are having same shape and size, then we can say the figures are congruent. Okay, and the relation of two objects being congruent is called congruence. One more example, I am having two coins of 2 rupees and they are of same shape and size. So I can say that these two coins are congruent. Okay, because they are having same shape and same size. Or you can say that if two objects overlap, if they are having same shape and size, then obviously they will overlap each other. If two figures completely overlap, or you can say superimposed means overlap. Okay, completely overlap, then we can say the figures are congruent. Okay, so these two coin of 2 rupees are congruent. Now, if I replace one 2 rupee coin with 1 rupee coin, then are these congruent? No, because they are having same shape, but their size is different, or you can say they are not completely overlapping each other, superimpose each other. So we can say that these two coins, that is one rupee coin and 2 rupee coin, are not congruent. Okay. These are some examples given in your NCERT book. these two are shaving blades of same company. They are of same shape and size, so they are congruent. They are also congruent. Then biscuit in the same packet, they are also congruent. And toys that made up of same mold, okay, so they are also congruent. So we have learned the meaning of congruence. Now what do you mean by congruence among line segments? Suppose we have given two line segments. So when we can say that the line segments are congruent? Line segment means it is a part of line having initial and final point. Okay, so this is a line segment. When what is the condition that you can say that the two line segment are congruent? So two line segment are congruent if the length of those two line segments are equal. Suppose if it is a 5 centimeter, then I can say that AB is congruent to CD if AB is 5 centimeter and CD is also 5 centimeter. Okay, so we can say the two line segments are congruent if they are of equal measurement. Okay, now if I am taking one more example, let us take this is 7 centimeter, this line segment, and this is 8 centimeter. Let it be CD. So are these two line segment congruent? No, they are not congruent because their measurement varies. Okay, if they are having same measurement, then we can say then the line segments are congruent. Now in the same case, if I am saying congruence in angles, okay, congruence in angles. So what do you mean by this? Congruence in angles means angles having same measurement. If I am saying two congruent, if I am saying the measurement of one of the congruent triangle is, let it be 70, and angle A is congruent to angle B, then it is obvious that angle measurement of angle B must be 70. Okay, two angles are congruent if their measurement are equal. Okay, if both the triangles having same measurement, that is 70 degree, then we can say that the angles are congruent. If I am saying measurement of one angle is 80 degree and one more angle it is 90 degree, are they congruent? No, they are not congruent because they are of different measurement. Okay, so we have learned about congruence in line segment. The two line segments are congruent if they have same measurement, or you can say same length, and two angles are congruent if they have same measurement. It means if one is 70, then the next one should be 70, then we can say that angles are congruent. Okay, so this is the relation. If two angles have same measure, they are congruent. Okay, as I have given example, that is 70 degree. If two angles have the same measure, they are congruent. Also, if two angles are congruent, if I am saying the angles are congruent, then their measurement are same. Okay, so this I have discussed. Now let us learn congruence in triangles. Okay, that is congruence of triangles. Now we saw that two line segments are congruent where one of them is just a copy of the other. Similarly, two angles are congruent if one of them is a copy of other. Okay, we extend this idea to triangles. Two triangles are said to be congruent. Now we are talking about triangles. Okay, two triangles are congruent if they are copies of each other. It means if they are exactly same, if they are copies of each other, and when they superposed, or you can say overlap, they cover each other exactly. Okay, so I have two triangles. Okay, triangle ABC and triangle PQR. Now if they completely overlap each other, as they are completely overlapping, okay, they are completely superposed, then I can say the triangles are congruent. Okay, they are just copy of one another. So this is congruence in triangles if they are exactly copies of each other, or you can say if they overlap completely. Okay, then we can say the triangles are congruent. Okay, here triangle ABC and triangle PQR have the same shape and same size also. Okay, as you can see, they are having same shape and same size, so they are congruent. Okay, and how you will express this? How you can say that in writing, how you can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR? So that thing is written as triangle ABC is congruent. This is the sign of congruent, equal to, and this one. Okay, this is the sign of congruent. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. Okay, so this is the sign of congruency. Again I am making it. Okay, so this is the sign of congruence. Okay, as like this is the sign of equality, that is equation. This is the sign of equation and this is congruent. Okay, this complete. So this is the sign of congruence. Okay, now these two triangles completely overlapping each other. This means when you place triangle PQR, this is triangle PQR and I am placing it on triangle ABC. Okay, they are completely overlapping. It means this P vertex falls on A vertex. Okay, this Q vertex, this falls on B vertex, and this R vertex falls on this C vertex. And also for side, this PQ, if I overlap them, this PQ falls on AB and this QR falls on BC and this PR also falls on AC. Okay, if I overlap them each other, if I overlap them, this P falls on angle A. Okay, this angle Q falls on angle P and this angle R falls on C. Same for the sides, this PQ falls on AB and this PR falls on AC and same for QR falls on this BC. Now we have learned that this P falls on A. So P and A, these are known as corresponding vertices. B and Q, these are also corresponding vertices, and R and C, these are also corresponding vertices, because this P vertex falls on A when we overlap, when we superimpose these two triangles. Okay, now come to the sides. This PQ is corresponding to side AB and this QR is corresponding to side BC and this PR is corresponding to side AC. Corresponding means the sides which are overlapping, okay, which falls on one another. This PR falls on AC, so they are corresponding. This QR falls on BC, so these two are corresponding, and this PQ falls on AB, so these are corresponding sides, and same for angles and vertices. Okay, now we know that our triangle has 6 parts, or you can say 6 elements. Okay, 6 elements that include that includes 3 sides and 3 angles. Okay, so we can say that triangle has 6 corresponding parts, in which 3 are angles and 3 are sides. Okay, so A is correspondence. This is the sign of correspondence. Okay, this is the sign of correspondence, that A is corresponding to P. Okay, this B is correspondence to Q. This R is corresponding to C. Now for side, this PQ side is corresponding to AB side and this BC side is corresponding to QR, and same for this AC side is corresponding to PR. Okay, so these are the corresponding elements and they are 6 in numbers. These are the corresponding elements of congruent triangles. This we have proved that they are congruent because they are completely overlapping. So these 6 are the corresponding elements of a congruent triangle. Okay, now the triangles are congruent and this triangle is also overlapping another triangle, so we can write it as triangle ABC is corresponding to triangle PQR. It means side AB is corresponding to side PQ, side BC is corresponding to side QR, and side AC is corresponding to side PR. Okay, the naming of the triangle is very important. How you will write? First, I have written the name of one triangle, that you can write it ABC. Then AB is corresponding to which side? PQ. So first and second are on first and second place there is AB. So here also first and second place there must be PQ, because AB is corresponding to PQ. Okay, now BC is corresponding to QR. So second and third we have BC, and second and third we have QR. Okay, same for angle. A is corresponding to angle P. So first position is for, if here it is A, then you have to write P. Second position if it is B, so in corresponding to B we have to write Q. They are also in second position, and corresponding to R we have C. Okay, so this is how you can write the name triangle ABC. This is the sign of correspondence, and this is the sign of congruence. Okay, now let us do an example, that is example number 1. Triangle ABC and triangle PQ are congruent under the correspondence. That under the correspondence means that this angle A is corresponding to angle R. It means if you overlap triangle ABC to triangle PQR, then this angle R, or you can say vertex R, will fall on angle A. Okay, and this Q fall on angle B, and this P fall on angle C. Same for side, this AB will fall on this RQ corresponding to their places. This BC, that is second and third, will fall on QP, second and third, and this side AC will fall on RP if you overlap them. Okay, now the question is, write the parts of the triangle ABC that correspond to PQ. They are asking which side is corresponding to PQ. So here it is PQ. So you have to find the last two position, as this QP is present at the last two positions. So here also that is BC. So BC is the answer of first part, or you can write CB. Okay, now for second part. Now second part they are asking which angle is corresponding to angle Q. So angle Q is at second position, so you have to observe which angle is at second position in triangle ABC. So that is angle B. So angle B is the answer. Now third one they are asking is side RP. So you have to consider side RP, which is at first and third vertex. Okay, first and third. So corresponding to first and third in this triangle we have AC. So the corresponding part is AC. Okay, so this is the meaning of corresponding, means same places. Okay, now let us discuss some questions of exercise 7.1. So question number 1 and 2 I am not explaining, you have to do them yourself. Come to question number 3. If triangle ABC is congruent, this is the sign of congruent, is congruent to triangle FED under the correspondence. Correspondence means this angle A will fall on angle F, angle B will fall on angle E, and then angle C will fall on angle D if they overlap each other. Okay, and side AB will fall on side FE, first two position. Now side BC will fall on side ED, and then AC will fall on FD. Okay, so you have to write all the corresponding congruent parts of the triangle. Corresponding congruent parts means 3 sides and 3 angles. Okay, you have to write all the corresponding parts. So let us write angle A is corresponding to which angle? That is angle F. You have to see the position. Okay, this is at first position, so F is also first position. Now come to second angle, that is angle B, and corresponding to angle B we have angle E, because they both are at second position. Now angle C is corresponding to angle D, because they are on third position. Now these are the three angles. Now come to sides. So first I will take AB. Side AB is corresponding to side FE, because they are occupying first and second place. So same here you have to write AB is corresponding to side FE. Okay, because they are at first and second position. Now come to second side, that if you are taking BC, side BC, then BC is corresponding to which side? BC, second and third. Observe second and third position, that is ED. Okay, so this side is corresponding to this. Now third side is AC. AC, that is first and third. So here in this triangle we have side FD. So AC is corresponding to FD. I hope it is clear now. Now next question, if these two triangles are congruent, this is the sign of congruent. Write the part of triangle BCA that correspond to. Okay, this is the naming of the triangle. Angle E. Where is angle E? It is at second position. So you have to observe the second position. So that is angle C. So corresponding to angle C, corresponding to angle E, we have angle C. Okay, now for side EF. EF is second and third position. So here it will be side CA. Okay, now for angle F. This is at third position. So here which is at third position, that is angle A. So angle F is corresponding to angle A. Now DF. Where is DF? First and third. So here also first and third, that is BA. So it will be corresponding to B. Okay, so this is your exercise 7.1. One more topic we will discuss today. I hope these all concepts are clear to you. Okay, now come to the next topic. Now our next topic is how we will come to know that the triangles are congruent, because the triangles, as the name suggests, always have the same shape. But what about the size? So we have 4 rules for finding are the triangles congruent or not, and they are known as criteria for congruence of triangles. Okay, they are known as criteria. They are 4 rules, or you can say criteria, for finding the triangles are congruent or not. So criteria for congruence of triangles. Okay, this we will learn. So first rule, or you can say first criteria, that is SSS rule. Okay, SSS congruence rule. It means S stands for side, again this stands for side, and again this S stands for sides, and we are learning congruence in triangles only. Okay, so this is the first rule, that is SSS rule. All these 3 S stands for side. What this mean? So in this, 2 triangles are congruent. 2 triangles, let us draw 2 triangles. Suppose this is triangle and these are the 2 triangles. Let it be A, B, C, and this is P, Q, R. So these are the 2 triangles. So 2 triangles are congruent if the 3 sides, these are the 3 sides AB, AC and BC, 3 sides of one triangle are equal to the 3 sides of another triangle. Okay, 2 triangles are said to be congruent if 3 sides of one triangle are equal to 3 sides of another triangle. Okay, so let us take, if AB is equal to PQ, BC is equal to QR, and AC equal to PR. Here I have drawn one line, and here also I have drawn one line. It means the sides which are cut by one line, they are equal, and which are cutting, these are cut by two lines, it means they are equal, and this AC and PR is cut by three lines, so it means this line is equal to this. Okay, we can't say that this line is equal to this. Okay, so this side AB is equal to PQ, AC is equal to PR, BC is equal to QR. So triangle, now all the three sides of this triangle are equal to all the three sides of this triangle. Okay, so let us write AB. So first I will write in triangle ABC and triangle PQR. As we are considering these two triangles, so let us take in triangle ABC and triangle PQR. AB is equal to what? PQ. This is the first side given. Then BC is equal to QR, and third side AC is equal to PR. We have given these three sides, and we can say according to this rule the triangles are congruent. Okay, the triangles are congruent. Again the statement I am repeating, two triangles are congruent if the three sides of one triangle are equal to three sides of another triangle, then we can say the triangles are congruent. Now how you will write the triangles are congruent? So first, as the three sides equal, so by SSS rule the triangles are congruent. And how you will write the naming of the triangle? First write any one of the triangle ABC, then apply the sign is congruent to triangle. Now consider AB is equal to PQ. So in place of AB, always you have to write the corresponding side, that is PQ. So I will write PQ or QP. Okay, corresponding, you have to write the corresponding side on same position. Okay, now BC is equal to QR. So BC is equal to QR. It means at second and third position BC is here, so there must be QR in that corresponding triangle. So I will write QR because Q is already here and it is R. So QR. Now we will check third side. AC is corresponding to PR, and in this AC is first and third position. So there must be P and R at the first and third position. Okay, so this is the naming of congruence. This is the naming that is known as symbolic form of congruency. Okay, one more naming I am writing. Now I have drawn two triangles in which MN, here this side is cut by two sides, MN is equal to XY, because this is also cut by two sides. Okay, so 2 mark. Okay, and here it is having 3 marks, so it is also having these type of marks. So this side is equal to this and this side is equal to this, sorry, XZ. So first I will write the equal sides, and I am taking triangle in triangle MNO and triangle XYZ. Okay, so first let us take this side. I am taking this side. MN is equal to what? MN is equal to XY. Okay, these two sides are equal. Then NO is equal to what? NO is equal to XZ. I will write XZ. Then MO is equal to ZY. These sides are equal. So as all the three sides of this triangle are equal to all the three sides of this triangle, so we can say they are congruent. By which rule? By SSS rule they are congruent. Now I will write the name in symbolic form. That is very important, okay, in congruent. So first write the name of first triangle in any of the way. Let it be MNO. Then apply the sign congruent to. Now you have to observe MN is equal to what? MN is equal to which side? That is XY. Okay, or you can write YX also. Okay, so let it be XY. I will write XY. So at first two position I will write XY. Then NO. Okay, NO, or you can say ON. So NO is equal to XZ. But here it is Y. I need X and Z, but X is at first position, so I will replace it. here I will write y and here I will write x. There is no difference between yx and xy. So as I am not getting this naming of this, so I have just replaced them. I have written yx in place of xy. So mn I have written it yx. Now compare no. No is equal to xz. So x is already here, I will write z. Now let us check third side, mo. This is mo, so it should be corresponding to zy. Here it is. So this is the correct symbolic form. Okay, so the naming of the triangles according to SSS rule, I hope it is clear to you. Now let us do some questions related to this rule. So these are the questions given in Try These, that is on page number 140. It is page number 140. Okay, so these are the given. Length of sides of the triangles are indicated. By applying SSS congruence rule, state which pair of triangles are congruent. In case of congruent, write the name in symbolic form. Okay, so I am doing first part for you. This AB is equal to which side? This side. First you have to check either all the sides are equal or not. And this side is equal to this side is equal to this. So yes, they are congruent. And symbolic form, how you will write? First I will write the name of triangle ABC. And I will write one of the name. Now just consider AB is equal to what? AB is equal to PQ. I will write PQ at first two position. Then I will take second and third side BC. So BC is equal to QR, it means second and third there must be QR. So Q is already there. I will write R. Let us check third one. AC is 2.2 and this is equal to PR. So AC and PR must be on same corresponding position, first and third AC. So here also PAR must be on first and third. So yes, they are congruent. Okay, and this is the symbolic form. Now come to this one. So they are also congruent because all the three sides, 3 centimeter, 3.5, 3.5, 3.2, 3. They are also congruent, and write the name in symbolic form. This I am leaving for you. Come to third part. So this is third part. 2 centimeter. Is there any 2 centimeter? No. 4 is these two sides are equal. These two sides are equal, but this side is not equal. It means all the sides are not equal. So they are not congruent. If you try to overlap, they will never overlap because only congruent figures overlap. Okay, so they are not congruent. Now come to this part. We are having triangle ABD and ADC. This side is equal to this side is equal to this, and this is common. Common means the side which is coming in both the triangles. It means this is also equal in both the triangles. So this is also congruent. These two triangles are congruent. Now come to second question. Now this is page number 144, question number 2 of Try These. In this figure 7.15, AB is equal to AC. This is given. D is the midpoint of BC. D is the midpoint. It means this side BD is equal to this. So now the question is, state the three pairs of equal parts in triangle ADB and triangle ADC. It means you have to mention the three equal parts. Okay, in these two triangle ABD and triangle ADC. So how you will do? So this is the triangle given, and it is also given that this side is equal to this and this is equal to this. First part they are asking is three equal parts. So as the question is being asked, I will answer in the same way. So three equal parts in triangle ABD and triangle ADC are. You have to mention the three equal parts. Parts may be sides and angles. So this side AB is equal to AC. So I will write AB equal to AC. This is first part. Okay, this side is equal to this. Now this side of this triangle, that is BD is equal to DC. This is second part because this is the part of triangle ABD and this CD is the part of triangle ADC. So these are also equal, and they are asking equal parts. Parts may be angles and sides. So here we have given the sides, so I am writing the sides. And AB is coming in both the triangles. The side which is common in both, they are always equal. Okay, so I will write AD is equal to AD. So these are the three equal parts. Same way you have to write in your notebook. They are asking what are the three equal parts. So three equal parts are these three sides. Now second part they are asking is triangle ADB congruent to ADC? Give reasons. Now they are asking, is this triangle, this first triangle ABD, or you can read it as ADB, is congruent? This is a sign of congruent to triangle ADC. So yes, they are congruent. How they are congruent? Because all the three sides of this triangle are equal to all the three sides of this triangle. So they are congruent. So how you will write? Solution of second part I am doing here. They are asking, is triangle ADB is congruent to ADC? So I will write in triangle ADB and triangle ADC. I will write the equal parts. Okay, this AB is equal to AC, then BD is equal to DC, and then AD is equal to AD. So these all the three sides are equal. This is also representing one side. This is also representing one side, and this is also representing one side. So all the sides of one triangle are equal to all the sides of another triangle. So we can apply by SSS rule. They are congruent. Now write the name in symbolic form. First I will write the name of first triangle in any of the way. Now come to second. This is first ADB. So AD is equal to what? AD is equal to AD. So in first two position there must be AD. Let us check second and third. DB. DB is equal to DC. So D is already here. So I will write C. Okay. Now I will check the third remaining side. AB. AB is equal to AC. Yes. So this is symbolic form. So yes, they are congruent by SSS rule. Now third part is angle B is equal to C. This angle is equal to C. Now listen one thing. If the triangles are congruent, and we have already proved this, that the triangles are congruent, then all the corresponding angles are equal. As I have written this symbolic form, it means angle A of this triangle must be equal to angle A, angle D of this triangle must be equal to angle D of this triangle, and angle B of this triangle must be equal to angle C, because these are the corresponding parts. Okay, so yes, how you will write? Yes, angle B is equal to angle C by corresponding part of congruent triangles, because we have already proved that they are congruent. So, and these are the corresponding parts. Corresponding parts, how you come to know about corresponding parts? By the naming of the congruent triangles, by corresponding parts of congruent triangles. And the short form of this is by CPCT. This is the short form. It stands for corresponding parts of congruent triangles. Okay, if the triangles are congruent, then and only then we can say the corresponding parts are equal. Okay, so this is your question number 2. I hope this topic is clear to you. This is completely new for you. So I request everyone to watch the video twice or thrice. Okay, twice or thrice. Again I am repeating, you have to watch the video twice and thrice, as this topic is completely new for you. Okay, now come to the homework. You have to do, so your homework is, you have to do question number 3 and 4 that I have already explained, and these are of exercise 7.1, and try these. Question number 2 also I have explained completely the same way you have to write, and 3 on page number 141. These are the try these questions given on this page in your homework notebook. Okay, so this is all about lecture number 1. Thank you.